Okay, when I was playing traditional grip, okay.
And your pinky was out here though. Just wondering if it was actually doing anything.
Oh, was it when I was playing up on the cymbal up there?
Yeah.
Okay, what I was doing is what they call a cheat roll. It's a sweep. Okay, it's a brush sweep, and I'll show you guys this because there was a guy that was actually selling a video on the internet, and like I said, there's certain techniques that, I mean, anybody can learn stuff like that. If somebody's teaching you something, you know, that helps you in your playing, of course, people, you know, I've got a video. Hopefully, people are going to buy my video later because you're going to find stuff that you want to learn from my video. Okay, but some guy was selling this as the secret weapon that Buddy Rich took to his grave. First of all, Buddy Rich never did this technique. Jim Chapin is credited for inventing it. Brush drummers from the old days did it. Maybe 4 or 5 people in the early 20s and stuff like that did it, and it was just basically sweeping across the drum. That's part where you taught us how the pinky's out?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was there because it was just basically there. So what the technique is all you're doing is you're doing kind of a... It's like a figure 8, but you're basically... The pinky is just getting out of the way.
Oh, okay.
Because I found that when I was in here, it felt, like I said, for me, if I'm doing something and I kind of feel a tension, I'm like, okay, then I loosen that. Oh, I don't feel a tension. So it's just, for me, it was a natural thing. It's like, you can do a fairly fast roll, then maybe. You're basically just controlling as a sweep. You start out just sweeping across the drum, but as you go faster, it goes into a figure 8. It's like I say, it's a neat little trick. It's a great little thing, and it didn't get a lot of volume out of that. But I noticed, like I said, you know, when I thought, well, if you start, let's loosen this up, because I already knew that. Well, wait a second, my foot. Okay, if I loosen up my foot, it goes pretty quick, and I'm not working. So it makes sense. What if I could do that with my hand? That's when I thought Jojo Meyer. I mean, he did this one. In there, it's the push-pull, but the problem is you get down to a certain level. It's really kind of hard to get the volume out of it. So when I started working on the sweep, it's hard to get the volume out of it. So I thought, well, what if you could actually... So you're doing the same idea. You're basically... See how I'm turning my wrist? That's what he's actually calling reverse mullet. He does that one too, like. You gotta take time. You can actually develop it and go really, really fast with it, but with power because you're controlling the motion.
You're basically having 2 downstrokes instead of a downstroke and an upstroke.
Well, no, there is an up. There's still the upstroke. It's not like a bouncy because it. Like I said, I started when we did. Remember that triplet? Well, everybody was showing. Jojo Meyer was showing the Buddy Rich thing where it's like. Well, what's he doing? Technically. Straightening out a shuffle. Well, Jojo was working on that, so when I started working, I go, well, he's already working on it. Why do I want to work on it? And I started going. Well, remember I told you about the jazz trick? What if you could... started working on it in triplet. It's the same idea. It's essentially what Buddy Rich was working on when he was doing, but he was doing it in like a down. But for me, it seemed to work easier as a. Now I'm not working very hard. I went from this, you know, I go to it faster. So I'm going faster. It's not, and for dynamics, like I like that for dynamics. That doesn't work for the power. I gotta get that. Now remember I told you, it's all techniques in motion, whether it's for the hands or for the feet. There's a certain speed where, like you're like, yeah. I'm just keeping the motion going. You know, when I start going, remember the triplet? So I'm switching from, I'm actually throwing. See, as I'm throwing, I'm letting the drum do part of the work. So when I do the molar triplet we talked about, well, when you teach it to your right hand, thou must do with your left hand as well, because what the difference of when you get things to go symmetrically, then it really starts where the pistons start really rolling, okay? So same thing as the feet, okay? When I start going, okay, if I get that one going, from my heel toe was, that's the full motion. When I'm doing the heel toe, okay, well I'm doing all the work. I'm not accepting the rebound enough. So what I started doing was sliding back to the pedal, trying to clean it up. So then I'm back here, watch, on the heel toe. Then I got control of it.
The further back you slide, the less you need, less distance you need to move.
Yeah, because what, remember I told you, over-exaggerate the motion. The heel toe, the full motion, okay, so the cool thing about, like I said, the foot, it's a practice pedal. But you know how we always have, like, Jacob's got all kinds of like stuff wired and stuff like that in there, but it was kind of difficult to get some of the stuff with the Gahati. You couldn't just put it in there and mount the cowbell. This is a practice pedal. They sell for like 45 bucks. You can probably order them in from Foots directly because you'll be the music store for out here. So, and the neat thing is it also works as an accessory pedal. Now you can use it for like one pedal like this. They actually had it originally like. So there's the heel toe, but watch. The heel toe, full motion, right? Okay, now watch, when I go back, that's why what I developed when I did the world record stuff for the double stroke stuff was what I call, it's a long name, it was too long, but if I say toe down, heel stroke, you know what I'm doing. The toe's there. I could put tape around here and that toe doesn't move. Then I just start moving, like I said, the technique is there of the motion of up and down and up and down, but then I start refining the technique. Well, it's technically, it's a shuffle. Okay, now the cool thing is, like I said, you guys all seen Thomas Lang, and he has that giant step pedal, he's got two pedals, and you get, I could do stuff with, you know, like that. So now I've got like a, you know, $100 contraption, and I can do a lot of pretty cool percussive stuff, and it's a practice pedal. Like I said, I actually took this on the plane when I first met the guy. I got it in Nashville, and I went on the plane and I just put it in my back pocket. And I actually went on the plane because we had like a little show thing, and I showed the guy what it was, so he knew it was like a drummer thing. And I sat on the plane practicing while I talked to a guy, telling him about this invention. And he goes, "Oh, it's too bad I can't see it." I showed it to my drummer. I said, "I've been using it the whole time." Okay, so that's one of the things like you guys should check out. Now there's an actual practice pedal that's actually an accessory pedal as well. And that's one of the things that's really hard for us as drummers to get. It's something that we can use. Like, you could have 4 or 5 of these and have, in your setup, you could have even more than what you've got already.
Excellent.
More is better. Okay, so we go back to, like I said, remember I showed you the double stroke? And we dissected it, we misplaced the notes. And turned it into single stroke. So I started doing, okay, I'm playing heel toe. Okay, then I start going back on the pedals because I want to go toe down, heel stroke only. So I'm going back here. If I stay here, I get 1 stroke. If I slide back, see that? Well, if I get that on both sides, it makes sense that I can misplace those notes. Into single strokes. And then I said, okay, and I get a good power out of that. That's like when we were playing. And I'm not working that hard. When I was originally playing, when I first started playing, a lot of work. It's like, I can feel the muscles there. So I gotta find what's the way. Remember I told you when we were first playing, swivel the knee in to take that tension off of the heel. So now I'm playing heel down. Now that's my weakest technique. I have control over the patterns, but I really got to know. It's not bad. It's getting more even. It was the stuff that I normally do was like. I couldn't go any faster. Like I said, okay, because now I can feel the legs tense up. I don't. Tension is no good, right? So now, I start swiveling my legs. I'm just swiveling my ankles, just like this. And I'm not working hard, I'm going fast. And it's clean, and it's powerful, but there's no work on it. But then, okay, same thing. I want to go a little faster, so I'm going, okay, I'm doing that motion in there. Then I said, okay, now I got to shorten the motion even more. So I'm hitting my heel on the back part of the plate. Now, how do I shorten the stroke even more? I have to bring it from, if the heel, that's like our wrist plane on it. Okay, so where do we get the fingers? The fingers,
Toes?
There we go, the toes. So then I start going. I come up a little bit, like we originally did. We're up here, heel down, heel up, then heel stroke. So we're getting that, and then go up a little bit. Now when you go up, I'm pushing forward, okay? Now, remember I told you like the heel toe. Think about heel toe. All these approaches are thinking heel before the toe. So what I'm doing, remember I told you, if you, instead of like, you're doing this, and then you're doing downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. But we got to accept the rebound. So think about getting that rebound. So I'm thinking about the motion is a downstroke, and I'm also getting a motion on the upstroke. So I started going with my heel in the air a little bit. So same, can you see here? Here. It's not just like it's a hi-hat. So when I'm playing stuff with today in the band, and if you're practicing, Well, I also do some stuff where I'm playing bass and stuff like that. I try to get it. When I can get that playing the eighth notes, then I can just. So then I can do the work. So what I'm essentially doing is this. See how I'm pumping? Huh? Okay. See how I'm pumping? That's why it's called the pump, because I'm just like pumping my leg like this. But I'm not going like this tight. See, watch the heel. You see the heel goes, there's a bounce. Can you see it going da 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 da? So I'm physically, instead of, that's all the work. I'm doing all the work. Now if I transfer that motion and don't physically go, like start going. Okay, now I'm doing all the work. Let's cheat. I don't think it's cheating. I'm just saying it as a joke. I said, let's let the pedal do some of the work. Now I want to control the dynamics. So what am I going to do? I'm going to change that. So now I can use my heels to get dynamics and musical expression. I mean, it's good. If you're playing in a metal band and they want, like, it's all power hold, then that's what you want. But when we're playing in the band and stuff like that, we have a song, and it's called Buhay Mo. It's the song that Judea wrote, and we put the music together. And when I did it, I was playing like a. She goes, do the triple. I mean, do the triple? You want like me to do double stroke triplets in the song at first? Because that's when I originally recorded it. Okay, but when you're playing in a club, generally I don't have, you know, I'm using the smallest drum kit I can find, and I got the bass drum tuned as low as it'll possibly go because it sounds really good in the club. And I don't play double bass in a lot of the songs. So I said, well, how can I do that? Well, I know that my single, we're coming along and, you know, getting a good control. So that I needed to get that. The tempo of the song. It's really slow, but in order to get the song and still be able to go and be able to play it night after night, I had to find, like I said, it wasn't, you know, like a. If I want the volume, then I'm just going to try and get the triplet. But if I want to try and control it, because we're playing in clubs that you can't be that loud, but you still want to be able to. I mean, you got a chance to do the world record stuff and get it in control. It sounds more musical, and I'm allowed to get away with playing that stuff in clubs, rather than if I just try to play. So when I play double bass, what I try to do, like I said, I don't try to play any songs that like. I can get it. If I can play with 1 foot, then I will play with 1 foot. That's why I was saying before. I don't want to be relying on that kind of part for a double bass. But when the time comes, it's not a shiver. You got to be able to control it. If you work on the techniques, it's fairly quick. When I'm like, now that I've got the technique down. Work at it, do it. It's all control. It's all definitely based on techniques, motion, and application. See, it's not. There's no shiver involved in it. There's no tension. Like if I'm playing, if somebody was trying to play that fast, they'd be out of breath pretty quick actually. Because I'm playing okay. That's over 250. That's over 1,000. I know that. It's been between 1,000 and 1,030, which is the world record. Am I working hard? So when I did the WFD stuff, I have to do it for a minute. So you can't just play that. You have to, for 60 seconds, you're like, now, if I can play, I mean, this is a really loose bass drum, but it sounds good. You know, I mean, I like the sound of the bass drum like that. I prefer a looser bass drum. It makes me work harder. If I'm just going to be playing speed metal stuff, I would, of course, like what they do, they stuff the bass drum so that it's really tight, a tight response, and make it tighter, because you get like a snare drum. You're like, now, just like I said, the last thing I just want to show you, as you're doing this stuff, the cool thing about when you learn the techniques in motion is if you start off with one, double strokes, okay? And then we go back on the pedal. We can do a single stroke. Now if I just move my feet, kind of just play with them a little bit, then I can get it to separate the notes, okay? So I'm going to go, okay. The same motion, and then okay, now I do them in unison. So now I've got something that's kind of neat when you play. It's got a really cool. You can't get that sound with just. Remember we said the shuffle? Now I'm going to play the same double stroke on this side, but we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just going to move this over on 1 E, 2 E, 2 E, 2 E. Okay, so now I'm going to play the two, displacing them. They're the same things. Double, 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 double. Just move the note around and it turns into a Swiss triplet. You know, remember the 12A stuff? I played that stuff with a metal band, and the next year when I came off tour with a country band, I was working on the techniques. We played the same kind of metal stuff, and I played this. The first time, of course, because you want to establish the groove the way it was originally written. Cool thing is people, the single bass drummers go, I can't do that. The cool thing about it is once you learn how to do the heel toe with one foot, then you can do shuffles with one foot. Like everybody knows Hot for Teacher? Like everybody. Well, if you learn the heel toe, that was playing, it was actually a sample of a Harley. But the notes that he was basically displacing was to get the sound.
Don't forget you're gonna play.
Yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway after this. One more thing, I just wanted to show you guys a thing for the single bass players. I did some double bass stuff. For the single bass players, you can still get that Swiss triplet type of sound. See, like I said, what if I go into a situation and I only have the guy who's got a drum kit, has got a single bass. Oh, the first song is we do Hot for Teacher. If I don't have a double bass, what am I going to do? Okay, remember we did the shuffle over here? The beginning of the solo, when he's got that little tom-tom thing going, sounds like a Harley. Okay, he's got this kind of thing going. Sounds like I'm playing, but it's all done with single foot. So this is the possibilities. Now, like I said, for the drummers, if you play double bass, you could do the same idea, and instead of using your tom-tom, so instead of just playing as a Swiss triplet, the problem with people, they learn something, learn a double stroke roll. And that's all they do. You don't have to do it as a double stroke roll all the time. I think it sounds cooler if you play a... Take the Swiss triplet.